to another episode of Calcio Chronicles. I'm Sheida, your football spirited language coach, and I am honored to be here with my brilliant and insightful co-host, Italy's top football analyst, Massimo Caputi. Massimo.
Hi, Sheida. Welcome to
Hi.
everybody. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's brilliant to see you again. Thanks for your time. Now, the second round brought us so many interesting news and so many great matches with a lot of positive and negative points and also some controversies to talk about. If you agree, let's get into it. Okay, Massimo, the second round brought us so many surprises. What are your thoughts about all the matches that happened? What are the top teams in your opinion?
Well, the second round has been very interesting because we have three teams already ready, Napoli, Inter, and Milan, and the other that have some problem, especially Lazio and Roma. Napoli confirm his strength without Kvaratskhelia. Is the same and a great team and won two games, and also Inter confirms the strength because changed less than other, and physically and with the mentality started very well. And Milan maybe is a little surprise because changed a lot and introduced new players. But I believe that the choice of Milan about some players has been very good because those players are ready and have the right mentality for to be strong in Italian Serie A.
Okay, very good. Now, you started with Napoli. Napoli won 2-0 Sassuolo. Um, what do you think about this match? How did you see like Osimhen that we were speaking about him last time? How do you think Napoli played? How do you see the match?
But Napoli play well. 11 against 11 has been a tough match, not so easy for Napoli. But the goal, the penalty of Osimhen, and after the sent off of the player of Sassuolo, all things are been easy for Napoli. Napoli has the right mentality. The title won last year's is a great start for this year, and I believe that Napoli is very strong, and in this case against Sassuolo demonstrated the strength and also the possibilities to change during the match with important players that can change the way of the match.
Okay, very good. Now, another winner that really played well was AC Milan. They won 4-1 against Torino, and Pulisic really played amazingly. What can you tell me about this match?
But the victory of Milan has been clear and strong, and Milan played well, confirmed the good game against Bologna, also against Torino, and I repeat, for me is a little surprise because immediately Milan has the identity and a good football, and also the new players are immediately important for the football of Milan, And the Pioli, for me, is a good manager, and his job is great.
Okay, next on the line is Inter Milan against Cagliari with a very easy win, let's say, for Inter, with of course Dumfries at 22nd minute and Martinez that did an amazing goal at the 30th minute. How did you see this match? What do you think about Simone Inzaghi's team?
But Inter played very well, especially in the first half, scored 2 goals, and the match practically is finished. And Cagliari has been generous until the end of the match, but Inter has been in complete control of the game, of the match. Inter changed less, is in a strong team, and also is important, has Thuram fitted well in Inter immediately, and with Lautaro Martinez play well, playing a good football, and especially Lautaro Martinez is in a splendid time of form.
No, definitely. He is looking really good and he's scoring amazing goals in these matches. Now, next, Inzaghi's team would be against Fiorentina on September 3rd. So we're going to see how they're going to do against Fiorentina. Now, next thing that I would like to talk about, which was pretty surprise, was Juventus. You know, the match of Juventus against Bologna, the draw. What do you think about Juventus? Like they seem going like
But
powerful.
the match Juventus Bologna has been interesting, especially for the episode of VAR. But apart this, I believe that Juventus had more difficulties than in the first match. I am honest, in the first match, I didn't see so many changes in the football of Juventus. And against Bologna, Juventus had a lot of difficulties, especially for because Bologna in the first half played very, very well. In the second half, whereas Juventus has been an very good reaction, and the draw at the end is important for Allegri, but is clear as the episode of VAR has been important and determined the final result of the match.
No, we're going to definitely talk about that later on when we're going to talk about VAR and all the the decisions of the referees, because that has been very controversial and very important to talk about. Anyway, Bologna seemed for a second that they were really waiting to have a win against Juventus after 24 years, but then all of their plans went away when Juventus scored the goal, the equalizer. Okay. Now, next in the line, we have some big surprises. Okay, the second day, as I was saying before, we had big surprises, also negative surprises, and especially when it comes about the defeat of Atalanta, Roma, and Lazio, all three. What can you tell me about these matches and their losses?
The big surprise are the defeats of Roma and Lazio, especially, and is very amazing to see Lazio with zero in the tables. But I believe that in the beginning of the season, is possible to have some difficulties, and then all team are not ready at the same, no? And obviously for Lazio and Roma has been bad defeats, especially because the expectations around them are strong. And also Atalanta has been a little big surprise, but honestly, I didn't think about the three similar defeats.
Oh, true.
Atalanta is changing with the players, with the football. Different is for Lazio because Lazio plays at the same, no, and
Yeah.
probably the team is no ready, physical and
Physical.
mental in
Maybe.
the on the field in this beginning of the season.
Well, as you mentioned, Lazio didn't have a good start at all, and the same thing, Roma. They both of them they like fell behind, and as we were saying earlier, these points they count. It's true that it's just at the beginning of the season, but all these points count. So even Pellegrini, even though he played amazingly, but he also acknowledged that the team had, a poor performance in their match. So, what can you tell me about the situation in Rome? Because we have some changes coming, aren't we? Like,
The situation of Roma is strange, no? Because in the past years, Roma was very strong in defense, and in these two matches, uh, 6 shots and 4 goals for Roma, no, and
yeah,
probably um, Roma deserved more than the results in this opening, but it's important that Mourinho can find the balance, no, in the of the team, and obviously now for Roma the
things are
next
going to
future
change.
change a lot for the arrival of Lukaku, and
Cool,
also
of course.
and in the forward Lukaku first, and then the second probably also Azmoun, the other new arrive, can give strength at Roma for the forward, because Roma create occasion of score, but no score. And
Yes.
also against Verona, has had a lot of occasion for score, but for scoring, but without solution. And so I believe that Roma and the Lazio can improve a lot, and I my opinion is Roma and Lazio um, could be two important teams in this Serie A.
Okay, very good. Yeah. As you were mentioning, Lukaku, the arrival of Lukaku is really heartwarming for all the fans of Roma. Even Simone Inzaghi said that this is an amazing signing for Roma, and of course, everybody in Roma are now super happy. And the other arrival is Sardar Azmoun, which is he's the striker of the national team of Iran, and he's my fellow countryman, of course. I know that the Italian public don't know him well yet, but he is a brilliant player, and I am very excited about the fact that he is now playing in Rome.
Yeah, I know that you love the arriving of of Azmoun, the Iranian players in Rome. Um, uh, Asmoon can give the right support in the forward in Roma for his specific capacities in on the field, on the pitch. But you know that in Roma now, all all people are crazy for Lukaku, no?
Of course.
And it is normal, and it's also true that with Lukaku, the potentialities of Roma are a lot, no?
Yeah.
Change the imagine and the identity of Roma with Lukaku. And so I am very curious to see in the next future what's happened in Roma and has
Scudetto?
and
Are we going to win the Scudetto?
no,
That's
no,
what
no,
all the Romans are asking
no, no.
themselves.
I I think is not for a title, not for Scudetto, but sure for fighting for the first position. This is true. Is difficult to say and to speak about Roma with Lukaku, and don't think that Roma can fight for the first position of the league.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Okay. Now, Massimo, we talked about all the teams and all the different matches, but as we were mentioning it earlier, there has been a lot of controversies about the decisions of the referees and the interventions of VAR. Let's get into that. Okay, we're back. So there have been some recent incidents in Turing involving a denied penalty for Bologna. What can you tell me about this match? What are your thoughts about the referee, Di Bello, and his judgment?
What's happened in Turin is incredible, and I cannot understand why, because all the world watched the occasion and the episode, and it was a penalty, and a clear penalty. But what is important to say for me is why Di Bello didn't use the VAR,
No,
and
it's true.
why the man of the VAR didn't ask to Di Bello, no?
Yeah,
Why
didn't
you don't watch?
suggest to Di Bello to use the VAR in that case.
Yes,
Well,
exactly,
the
exactly.
referee, Di Bello,
Especially, and I'm sorry. What is amazing is the penalties in Milan Torino,
yeah,
and also the penalty in Napoli when the referee watched the video and with a big glasses for to see the penalty.
yeah, we're trying to
And
find
so
something.
yes, and in Torino was incredible because Ndoye um, was in front of the net of the goal. Okay, for me is important, and that the decision making process um, will be clear and for everybody, for all referees, because the fan, the players, the manager have to know when and why is penalty or not. Because if you give
True.
penalty as Milan in Napoli, you have to have the same line and the same
Line of judgment.
consistency in each match.
No, definitely. Now, the referee, Di Bello, is relatively new in the season. Now, does this raise any concerns about his handling of such situations, you think?
But I, I, I think that is important that Italian Referees Association um, s- have to speak with all referees and give them the line, the right line for the next games, for the next matches, because we are only at the beginning
No, that's
of
true.
the season, and the controversies are always difficult. No, I my opinion is in England, for example, in the case of Milano or Napoli, never, never
They
um,
would have
will,
considered.
yes, give the penalty.
No,
Never.
it's Uh, no, that's true. But the Italian Referee Association, they actually promised transparency. And that's what they did, didn't they? They actually released the conversations between the referee and the VAR. But as you were mentioning about what they did in Torino, I mean, like, um, in case of Alessandro Buongiorno, I mean, like he could not get out of the way of the ball when it flew at him off the back of Giroud's head. So, as you said, they conceded the penalty, even though it wasn't a very clear penalty. But it's
We,
interesting to see.
no, we hope transparency. We would like to have transparency, especially because the president of Italian Referee Association um, said, yes, we want to listen the speaker, no, and
Yeah, yeah,
the argument between the referee and the
agree.
VAR. And so I am very curious to listen the about Di Bello and Fourneau in Turin, because this is the amazing episode of this beginning of the season.
Yeah,
Yes, it's possible to make a mistake. Every is possible.
very big. Yeah,
The job of the referee is very very hard, but at the same times could be easier if every referee has the same line, and the use of the technology is the same for every referee.
yeah, yeah. No, as you said, it's just the beginning of the season, and it's absolutely important that the league would address these controversies very firmly in order to maintain the credibility of the competition, and that's what it looks that they're doing. Okay, now we talked about also the VAR and these episodes, which were very important. So I think next thing that would be is like to have the next round previews, which is something that a lot of our listeners are absolutely interested in. Let's get to it. Okay, we're back with the previews of the next round, and I start first with Roma and Milan.
Is a great interesting match. No, is a big exam and a big test for Roma, especially, but also for Milan. It's very difficult to know how Roma will play, because we are more certainly as a Milan to play, different for Roma, and I believe that will be difficult to say Lukaku, but I don't know. But for Roma is very very important to have a good result, and
Okay,
because after we
definitely.
will have the stop for the matches of the national team, and so to have a good result against Milan um, can give um, confidence to Roma. For me, probably is a draw.
Okay. Is Mourinho, you think, going to use Osmoon to fresh
No,
start
no,
him?
no.
No.
Azmoun is injured, and probably will be the same Roma with the same players of these
Okay.
two first matches.
Matches. Okay. Thank you. Now, next up is the Udinese versus Frosinone.
Is in a good match this because Frosinone won, Udinese uh, miss the victory in the last of the match against the Salernitana. Um, my opinion is Udinese is favorite. I
Okay.
say one for
Okay.
Udinese.
One for Udinese. Okay. You know
Yes,
that
because
Turati is going to be
one
back in
x
goal.
two one.
Okay. You know that Turati is going to be back in the goal after the suspension for swearing for Frosinone. Okay. It's going to be, as you said, interesting to see what he's going to do. Now, next in the line is Bologna Cagliari. Tough one.
Bologna played very well, especially in the first half against Bologna. New players are coming, also for Cagliari. The problem of Cagliari is the goal,
Okay.
and also Ranieri spoke about this. Bologna for me is favorite, and I like so much Zirkzee, the forward of Bologna. Bologna favorite against the Cagliari.
Okay. That's great. Now, next in the line is Napoli versus Lazio.
Another big match.
Oh, yes, definitely for Lazio.
Yes,
Hard one.
probably. I'm awaiting a good match for Lazio. Because when you play against a strong team, the mentality and the feelings is growing now than the other normal match. Obviously, against the Napoli is very very hard, and Napoli is favorite, especially if Kvaratskhelia will play for the first minute of the game. Napoli favorite, but attention to pay attention for the football of Lazio.
Okay, very good. Next up is Atalanta Monza. Monza, that would win.
But Atalanta, the defeat in the last match for Atalanta has been a surprise and demonstrated that the balance of the team is now on a good point, is improving. But at home, for me, Atalanta can win against Monza. Monza play well, but Monza, my opinion is less strong than 1 year before.
1 year. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Torino Genoa.
Torino Genoa. For Genoa has been very important to catch the victory, no, against the Lazio, especially because it's important for the mentality, no. When you win against a big team, for team as Genoa is important, you know, the confidence is more, and Torino have to win, have to win, and will be not easy for the team of Juric. At the end, I think is it possible on a draw.
Okay, very good. Now, another very great match that I am personally looking forward to is Inter Fiorentina.
It's
Which
important.
team do you think is going to win this time?
No, it is an interesting match, as you said, but because Inter is strong. No,
Yeah,
we watched the two matches before, and
Fiorentina played well in the past
yes,
match.
but it is doesn't have continuity, no.
Okay,
And in campionato in Serie A is important the continuity for having ambitious
okay,
ambitions, and so is a good an important text for Fiorentina, but for me Inter is favorite, and I think that at the end Inter will win.
okay. Now, next one is Empoli versus Juventus. This one is
Empoli,
going to be tough for Empoli, isn't it? And an easy one, more or less, for Juventus, even though Empoli is a bit
I
tricky
think
one.
an great reaction of Juventus. Juventus wants to win absolutely. Um, Empoli has zero punti, zero
Okay,
points,
0 points.
and have to have an reaction, but against Juventus,
Juventus is hard.
it's no easy for me. Juventus will win, will win.
Okay. And last but not least, Lecce Salernitana. Now, Lecce has showed a lot of character lately. What do you think this match is going to be like?
Beh, Lecce at home against Lazio, and also against the Fiorentina, especially in the second half, played well, and is a characteristic of Lecce to play well, especially at home. Salernitana has problem in defense. I think more than in other part of the pitch, and so for me, is probable and a draw. But
Draw.
if I have a little um, chance more for Lecce.
Okay, very good. And that's it. Thank you so much, Massimo, for all your insight. It's always amazing to speak with you about the matches of Serie A. And here it finishes our third episode of Calcio Chronicles.
Has been a pleasure at the same. Bye bye, everybody. And we will see in the next episode after the games of the national team.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much to all of our listeners. You can follow us on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify, wherever you want. Follow us. Take care. See you next week. Bye.